By the way, it's about 20 minutes or so from downtown Montreal. Depends on the time of day and the traffic, but really, if you're from Laval, you're pretty much from the greater Montreal area, or a suburb, if you will. 6 goals, 7 assists, and 13 points this year for Lane Peterson, who does bring some NHL experience to the Phantoms. He was signed as a free agent after he played for Bakersfield in the Edmonton system last year. Wins the draw on Alex Bump, and Denver Barkey trying to go to work from there. Bump, sharp angle shot. It's on to Jacob Fowler, but 11 of them have been on assists. Now they're very nice assists, and it's good to make those plays, but sooner or later you'd love to see Alex Bump bury some of those too. Laval almost cleared. Barkey blocked it down, and now Laval on the move and a 2-on-1. Here they come, back door down thin. Diving block, Adam Yenning knocked it down. Sean Farrell was cruising up there on a quickly developing 2-on-1 with their leading scorer down thin. Now the Phantoms with numbers. Barkey carries in the backhand behind the goal, and that odd man rush kind of fizzled out. Barkey way back on the blue line, got it back from Christian Kyrou. Long shot, Helga Grans hit off the skate of defender in front, and that was actually off of Sean Farrell. They did for the entire game on October 29th, which, in the words of John Snowden, was his team's worst game of the year. Face-off win for Lehigh Valley. Gaucher turns, shoots it all the way over to the corner. Fowler now 6th in the league in goals against average at .210, and his save percentage at .918 is 8th in the league. I mean, he's that good. And then they've just faced the best goalie in the league, and Sergei Murashov of Wilkes is here, one of the in-house MCs at the Philadelphia Flyers game, and we have the ice crew girls there coming on the ice as well at the intermissions. So we got a little bit of a Philadelphia Flyers vibe going on for this game, a little more so than normal, especially with Gritty here, of course. Dumped in deep by Lauren Dauphin off the right boards and scooped up by Lehigh Valley. Yenning in his last game of his conditioning loan lost it. Dauphin the steal, rolled in behind the goal. Grans plays it around the boards. Mark Del Gaizo is there to keep it in, the New Jersey native. Shot on to Bjarnason, bounds away and back out the center. Adam Yenning's 200th career game with the Phantoms. His 5th game of this season in this 2-week conditioning loan stint. Here comes Owen back into the slot. Shot and a save on the left pad. Rebound bounces over the stick of Nate Clerman, the former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguin from a season ago. Phantoms and 22nd point to lead the team for Laurent Dauphin. But Alex Belzil buried it at 19 goals with the Pack last year, previously with Hartford for 5 seasons, and then the last 2 years Belzil played with the Hartford Wolfpack. I mean, he started the ECHL for most of 3 years before he kind of latched on with San Antonio. 34-year-old veteran who can still snipe. 1-0 Rocket. In behind the goal and going to work is Owen back it over to the corner there, trying to win it back from him back there. That was Lane Peterson hustling back on D. Dug away by the Rocket and missing the net on that drive. Snapped on from the left circle, Joshua Waugh. Around the wall and all the way that they received on one of our whiteout giveaway nights last year. Those look great. I still have mine. I was trying to find it because the weather is getting colder, and I guess we're going to get snow maybe on Tuesday. Anyway, that reminded me that we have the Melvin Winter Youth Knit Caps coming next Saturday at our next home game. Saturday, December 6th against the Utica Comets, with only 2 wins this year for Utica, the AHL affiliation of the New Jersey Devils. Lost their first 7 this year, and last year they lost their first 13 in a row. I mean, they've really had some tough times for the Utica Comets, where the fans are trying to buy in. Here comes Laval again. A shot punched away off the knob of the stick, it looked like, from the shot of David Reinbacher. Had 3 goals last weekend in a sweep of the Belleville Senators, including 2 goals and a 7-2 wins. So the number 5 overall pick in the draft, off of knee surgery from a preseason game last year, and then a broken hand from a blocked shot in a preseason game this year. Reinbacher finally getting it going, and had a big 3-goal weekend, his first with Laval. His 11th game of the season, that's his most. He barely played last. He's only 23, but he's one of the older, experienced guys on the blue line, along with Adam Yenning while he's here. But he won't be here after tomorrow. Here comes a little partial break goal, dashing around and in, Sammy Blaze. Boy, he just zoomed up the right wing boards and then angled and took it right to the house. And then flicked it around. The right skate goes across the low slot and around Bjarnason and past his right skate and in. 2-1 Laval, even though the Phantoms are out shooting the Rocket 14-6. Shot from the blue line, Clearman, and a save, and another shot, another save for Bjarnason on the Del Gaizo effort. Phantoms clear to the Laval side. Barkey chases Del Gaizo back there. Here's Del Gaizo, former Milwaukee Admiral and Nashville Predators prospect. Lehigh Valley intercepts. Christian Kyrou ready to start it up. Banked up on the penalty box doors for Alex. Bumped it into the zone, but taken back by Alex Belzile, the former Hartford Wolfpack, back with the Laval Rocket with a goal today. Down to 2:15 to go in the first, and the Rocket leading it 2-1. Toby Wassad pounces on that one. Here comes the Laval Rocket, scooting up through center and into the zone. Sean Farrell. Then Ethan Sampson gets a body on him and shoves him down to the corner. Farrell got rid of the puck as Ethan Sampson kind of partly kills that play. Scranton last year for half the season had some injury issues too, and previously with the Colorado Eagles, that's the Avalanche affiliation in Loveland, Colorado. 17 minutes to go on the second. Laval Rocket lead 2-1. Chipped down to the neutral zone and pushed into the Lehigh Valley end. And here comes Will Dineen. This is the son of former Flyer Kevin Dineen, former Utica head coach, former Florida Panthers head coach, Portland Pirates as well. This is Will Dineen, who scored his first career pro goal a couple weeks ago. Did Dineen out of Yale University, and he began to nudge it away. Del Gaizo recovered with the puck rolling out to Barkey coming out of the box. Now Laval is in again. Handoff for Del Gaizo, intercept Barkey, hustled back and took it away from Farrell. Bump wants to dangle around a man, backhander on net. Nice save for Fowler on the move by Alex Bump around William Trudeau. 14 minutes even to go in the second period. Phantoms have dodged a couple of bullets here with a pair of big penalty kills to hold off the Laval Rocket. Now Laval surging again. Down low, all alone, right on Bjarnason. Philadelphia Flyers is on the screen with Bowtie Ben. They're enjoying their Phantoms helmet ice cream from Tim Hortons, of course. Great to have the Flyers gang here, as well as Gritty. Really popular and a nice long line. You know, they're going through it quickly and get as many photos with Gritty as they can. Chipped up ice, Laval on the move. Farrell has Dalfan, centering pass. And Hunter McDonald hustled back to break it up. Got a piece, shoots it all the way down. And just wide of the crease, so that makes it an icing. Thought it was going to rush. Lauren Dalfan on the face-off of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms and against Lane Peterson, who got a good shove on him and wins the draw. Good job, Peterson. Hunter McDonald plays it away from the charging Dalfan and flipped it out to center. Bounced away from Barkey. Now he has a little help from Peterson. Centering ball, but a nice shot. Big save off the right pad. Shoved away by Jacob Fowler. Ethan Sampson from the right boards. Rolled it in down low. Barkey got blasted against the boards by 6'3" veteran Josiah Didier. Bump there. Stolen. Dalfan flipped it up ice for Farrell to the red line. And driven in deep. Hunter McDonald will chase it down and roll around the boards. Connects with Alex Bump and the Phantoms on the move. 9:37 to go in the second. Cross ice for Barkey. A little beyond his reach on kind of a 2-on-2. Hard to connect. And stolen by the Rocket. Trudeau and Simoneau look to get it going. I mean, they don't even have Adam Engstrom and Jared Davidson anymore. They do have Joshua Waugh back. Florian Jacquet, who led the league in penalty minutes last year, he got called up to Montreal as well. So missing a couple key pieces with this Laval team is pretty deep and well played. And 45 seconds left on the PPL power play. Kyrou handoff to Bump. And Lehigh Valley getting new troops out there. Gendron in as well. Gendron back to Bump to the left wing corner. Rolled around the yellow to the right wing wall. There's Dorward, who dodges away from a man. Plays it down to the point. The high slide gives the Gendron right dot. Seam pass all the way across. Not quite on target. Bump plays the ricochet off the left boards. Gives it in down low. Kaplan back to Bump. Missed the net on the one-timer. Alex Bump missed the net. So off the boards. Karams all the way back to the Lehigh Valley line. 10 seconds left on the tripping infraction against Didier. Phantoms in again. Chipped up, Bump to Dorward, centering it off the leg. Gendron chased it down in the corner. Backhands around to the left point. Didier back out, 5-on-5. Bump a shot. And a save on the right pad of Fowler. Dorward jumps on that in the corner. First one there with Gendron. And Dorward rolled around the elbow, back up high to Bump. Back to 5-on-5, but the Phantoms with momentum. Shot and a save off of Fowler with Sampson making a move to the net. And Dorwart shot, handcuffed him, but Laval recovers and clears to the Phantoms line. Yinning for Ethan Sampson, carries it into the zone. Of course, we got both of these guys, Sampson and Yinning, just a couple of weeks ago. For Yinning, his last game of his conditioning loan, and then back up to the Flyers, and then if they want him to play more with Lehigh Valley, that would require waivers. This is the end of Yinning's 2-week conditioning loan here in his 200th career game with Lehigh Valley. Several strong pushes, and Jacob Fowler has just been fantastic. Face-off win for the Phantoms from behind the Lehigh Valley goal. Yinning, lead pass, goes through Peterson. Oh, he got a glance on it, so no icing. Denver Barkey fighting for it on the forecheck. Peterson there, Bump was trailing, hoping they could put it to him for a shooting opportunity, but instead rotates over to Yinning on the left point. Hit off of their captain's leg, Kandata, and then bounce out the center. Bump an extra push to nudge it in, but Laval with possession again. 1:25 to go in the second period. And a bad pass intercept by Yinning. Nice outlet, connects on the tape. And Bob, he just got punched there in the face. That's a penalty on Laval. Bob was about ready to go around a D-man, and he just got punched in the face. And I really feel like this could kind of be a big deal here. Josiah Didier tripping at 13 now, which they could. 5-on-3, here we go. Lane Peterson wins the face-off, nudged over from Grunstrom to Kyrou. He's in, and then dropping for Richard, who keeps it in around Kandata. Passing over to the left wing, got it back from Bump. 16 seconds left in the period. Kyrou and Richard crisscross. Richard a bomb, and a big block out there. Trudeau comes out to Richard. Grunstrom right dot, seam pass, deflected Kandata over to the corner. 5 seconds left. Scooped up and carried across. Richard shooting, save, loose in front, goal, Kyrou! Kyrou with it up front as the clock reads 0. Christian Kyrou scores 5-on-3 for the Phantoms, and now we need to see if the goal will count. The clock reads 0 as Kyrou put it in. On 3 goal, now it's 5-on-4. Barkey sits out in the box, matching roughing penalties with Josiah Didier of all players. And a face-off win for the Laval Rockets, slammed all the way down ice on the penalty kill, gobbled up by Kyrou off of his 4th goal of the season. Christian Kyrou emerges, and then across center and over to the Phantoms bench. Bump and a handoff Richard across the line and over to the right wing, giving it over there. Richard had it back, trying to drop to the point, nobody there after he got that handoff from Lane Peterson. Instead, sails all the way back to the Lehigh Valley side. Bjarnason the handoff for Kyrou. 19:25 for the third, 1 minute even to go on the penalty against Xavier Simino, another one of the roughing penalties after that late skirmish and dust up at the end of the second period. Richard is in with Alex Bump. 3-2 Laval, coughed it up, stolen and cleared all the way down by William Trudeau. Sailed back to the Lehigh Valley. Hard push from Laval, including 3 power plays in a row. They scored on one of them, made it 3-1, but the Phantoms just kept on coming, and now they've tied it. Here's Bump in, shooting just wide. He had a little daylight between the right skate and the left post, but he missed it on the post. Now dug away. Bump out in front. Kron's shot, made that Sampson shot. Blocked back at him. Backhand shots with his back turn, missed it wide. Dug away in the corner. First one there, Peterson. Phantoms buzzing. Hunter McDonald has shot. It's loose. Barkey couldn't reach it. It was blocked by Toby Masson, who stung up. Hunter McDonald hustled over to the right point to block it down, keep it in. Then taken off the puck by Kandata. Strips McDonald of the puck, who knocked down, and now Kandata in up the left wing. A shot off the right pad of Bjarnason. Goal here today. Lane Peterson, offensive zone faceoff, of course, also on this line with Denver Barkey. They cooled off a little bit, but you know, that might be temporary here. Alex Bump chased it down to the corner after that faceoff by Peterson, rolled around the wall. Good aggressive pinch for Murchison to keep it in. Down to the corner, there's Bump. Barkey tapped it up high. McDonald couldn't quite hold it on the blue line. He's got to come back and reload and start it up again. 11:20 to go for the third. Belzil lost it. Here comes Laval in. Over to the left corner. He dodges away from Hunter McDonald. Catching up to him was Lane Peterson. Takes a spill, but knocked the puck out of his possession. McDonald, good pass. connects with Ethan Sampson wide open in front of his own goal. Nobody near him. Peterson in for Berkey, and then it kind of bounced on him. He never handed it off to Sampson, who was joining him on the rush. Ethan Sampson all the way up there in the corner and working along the boards to try to win it, and then drops it in behind the goal. Toby Masson got there for Laval. Plays it around Farrell. Kyrou steps up with that big goal with less than a second left in the period. Fighting for it. Works it free. Bump. Top of the right circle. Turning. Shooting. Hit off a body. Never made it through to Fowler. It might have hit off a gaucher. Kept it on the point. Kyrou. 3.5 left. It was 4-1, and the Devils have cut it to a one-goal game. Phantoms win the face-off. Down low, Peterson scores! Lane Peterson puts it in inside the left side. On the short side, deflected off a little bit of a block. And Lane off of that face-off, rotating over to the left circle. Phantoms have done that play a few times. This one looked a little different than how they normally draw it out because it was a block shot, but he was in the right place. It was open for him. Oh, what a pickup Lane Peterson has been. And it's Christian Kyrou who gets the assist on the goal that puts the Phantoms ahead. Peterson. Here come the Phantoms again. Peterson pushing his way up the left wing. Wanted to drop it off there on the rush. It was blocked away. Laval coughed it up in the Lehigh Valley zone, and we're down to 6:45 to go. Still a lot of time left. Here's Laval shooting it in. Dave Bjornsson. Fantastic. Off the face-off, and Adam Yenning gobbles it up, and now lifting it up in the air, tumbling end over end, and out to center. Good work. Barkey across. Here's Denver Barkey, across for Lane Peterson, chasing after it. One to center, but Lucas Condata caught up to him. And now Laval's going to chip it out of the neutral zone. Sammy Blaze with the goal today. The former St. Louis Blue in his first game here, back with Laval. As Montreal claimed him off of waivers from Toronto, trying to sneak him in and down. And now Bump trying to fight his way through. Smacked away by the goalie. Oh, Bump collides into the goalie. They're going to call him for a penalty. They're pulling the goalie. Fowler goes over to Bump. Everyone gathering around Bump. Now they blow the whistle. Bump was going on. And Bump was almost, well, you know, he kind of ran into him, shouldered into the goalie. Garrett Wilson is asking. He's trying to dodge away from Fowler. He was trying to cut in front of Fowler, but Fowler came out of the top of the crease. Here comes Bump back out on the ice. Centering right on top of Bjornsson. They chip out of Bjornsson. Covers. Philip Mayshaw right on top of him. Trying with some wonderful hand-eye. 4.5 seconds left and a chance off the face-off. Cleared over to the corner. Trudeau is there. Holding it in, and that's it. We'll go to overtime. There with Lane Peterson, who scored on October 31st on a 2-on-1 with Alex Bump at Hartford. He's out there with Bump trying for a 2-on-1 again, but Laval wins the face-off to start overtime. Waugh hands it off and pulled it back there for Trudeau, who's out there with Owen Beck. Here's William, and actually David Reinbacher out there with Beck. Reinbacher, the number 5 overall selection of the draft 2 years ago, getting it going. Now lead pass goes through. Waugh sails all the way down. No icing, chased down by Beck. Rotated over to Waugh with Kyrou trying to steal, and Waugh will just play it all the way back into his own end. Richard takes the chance to go to the bench. Bump is on, and Peterson comes on for Dorwart. Phantoms fresh legs as they defend, and Laval pulls one back behind its own goal. 0 shots on the goalies so far. Here's Trudeau handing it off Farrell. 0 whistles so far as well. 2:40 to go and 3-on-3 overtime. 4-4 tie. From behind the Laval goal, William Trudeau with Bump watching on, and Peterson out there too. Laval with the puck. Phantoms looking for an opportunity to steal. Farrell will carry it out himself. Now he pivots back. Bump forced a bad pass. Dribbles all the way to the corner. Trudeau got there first. He's got a friend behind the goal, Farrell. Peterson backs away now. Flip top ice for Farrell. 2-on-2 for Laval. Farrell tossed it in down low. Reaching for it. Mayshar goes through a stick to the corner. Now the Phantoms on the counter. Here comes Bump. He's in and shooting off the right pad of Fowler. Peterson was head manning for Bump, who shoots again. It's loose. He got it in the glove. Well, after such a great game, I got to tell you, this has not been the most energetic of overtime. Behind their own goal, Alex Bump is on, and a lead pass. Bump, he's in, 3 seconds and 2. Bump stops, shoots, and off of Fowler, it dribbles just wide. Bump almost scored the winner with 1 second left in the overtime. I mean, that was just a couple inches away. Bump almost won this in the OT with 1 second. Alex Bump's turn. He almost won at the end of overtime. Way over to the right for the lefty shooter. Bump is in off the pads and deflected away. Jacob Fowler looked like it might have been off the right knee as he robs Alex Bump.